It will never be a good time to buy a house. Wow, encouraging. I'm Rebecca, aka the Mortgage Mentor, and I read the scary housing articles so you don't have to. Most of them are dramatic, but this piece from The Atlantic actually helps what's happening in today's housing market make a little more sense. Quick note before we get into it, when this article came out almost 2 years ago, inventory was close to record lows and rates were higher. Since then, we've seen more homes come on the market and rates are lower. But a lot of what's affecting real estate that this author talks about is still very much here. She even suggests housing might not feel normal again until around 2030. So if you're scrolling on Zillow thinking, is it just me or does this feel impossible? You're not imagining it. What she's talking about lines up with what I'm seeing with my own clients. First, there still aren't enough homes. We went from a market where roughly 2 million listings nationwide felt normal to a market where active listings dropped to under a million and only recently started to climb back up. So if you're thinking there's nothing to pick from, you're not being dramatic. Even with more homes for sale than a couple years ago, options may still feel limited. Second, payments jumped. During the pandemic, 30-year fixed rates dipped to under 3%. Now they're in the low sixes, sometimes high fives, instead of those sevens and even eights we saw not long ago. Put higher prices on top of that, and payments are higher by almost 50% to just a few years ago. Third, there's been enough buyer demand to keep prices from dropping very much. In a lot of areas, home prices haven't fallen much, if at all, and some have even inched up while the market cooled. So when you're thinking this feels like a terrible time to buy, you're dealing with low supply, higher payments, and higher prices all at the same time. Given that, your reaction makes sense. For this to improve in a big way, we need more homes. That means more building, expanded zoning laws that allow for more housing, and policy that actually adds supply over time. And higher wages wouldn't hurt either. A big part of the squeeze is that incomes haven't kept up with housing costs and inflation, but that's a whole other conversation. So here's the advice that I'm giving my clients. You can't control inventory, inflation, or zoning. What you can look at is, does the payment work for your budget, how long you plan to stay in the home, and what your plan is if rates move up again or down. So if you know someone stress refreshing Zillow every night, send this to them. And save this for the next time a headline makes buying a home feel completely out of reach.